In 1807, Thomas Jefferson and the Democratic Republicans, facing continued seizures of American ships and cargo by warring European powers, took an action of questionable morality and disastrous consequence: the passage and rigorous enforcement of the Embargo Act. The Jefferson administration chose economic warfare over military engagement, effectively using American citizens as pawns in a manipulative foreign policy gamble. This decision was based on the flawed and almost arrogant belief that a total cessation of American commerce, a policy of peaceful coercion, would so severely cripple the economies of Great Britain and France that they would be forced to respect American neutrality. This massive government action immediately had a devastating and unethical impact at home, punishing the nation it was meant to protect. Instead of crippling Europe, the embargo plunged the United States into a severe economic depression. American exports plummeted, and the docks of New England and New York filled with idle ships. Farmers, especially the cotton and tobacco planters of the South, lost their primary foreign markets, leading to sharp price drops and widespread ruin. The livelihood of countless sailors, merchants, and laborers evaporated, resulting in mass unemployment and bankruptcies. The federal government had essentially sacrificed the economic well-being of a large segment of its population on the altar of diplomatic experiment. The sheer unpopularity of the act led to widespread defiance, compelling Jefferson and the Democratic Republicans to adopt measures that were wildly hypocritical and dangerously close to being illegal. The party that championed limited government and individual liberty was forced to enact a series of supplementary acts to enforce the embargo, giving the federal government unprecedented and arbitrary power. Customs officials were granted the authority to search, seize, and detain vessels and goods without due process, an action seen by critics as a blatant violation of constitutional liberties and property rights. To put down the resulting tide of popular resistance and widespread smuggling, the administration mobilized the U.S. Army and Navy against its own citizens, particularly along the Canadian border and in New England ports. This manipulative use of coercion at home, coupled with the infringement on civil liberties, was a dark stain on Jefferson. It fostered a contempt for federal law and pushed parts of the country, most notably New England, to the brink of secession, destabilizing the fragile young Union. The policy failed completely as a diplomatic tool, causing no significant change in the policies of Great Britain or France. Yet it succeeded in causing massive domestic suffering and required the federal government to become the very engine of overreaching, powerful authority that the Democratic Republicans had spent a decade fighting against.